Alright, I air checked everything all by blowing into these holes here, and I can hear my direct working, my forward clutch is working, and the rear clutch is working, and blow into this one and the servo is working. Just checked all that. Stoned off these surfaces, make sure there's no burrs, make sure everything's clean. I've tightened everything, so we're just gonna get it together here. And you gotta remember to line up two things, put the valve body in. First of all, your shifter selector. This is the kick down. This is one that is actually connected to your shifter. You want to make sure that this pin lines up with that slot. And you also want to make sure that this kick down rod goes in between here and that spring-loaded pin there. So I'll probably be getting away the camera, so you'll see what I'm doing. I can feel that spring-loaded action of being against that pin. Moving our shift selector pin back and forth, so that should be it. It's in place the right way. It never pays to get in a hurry putting these together, so just take your time. Let's see. Some bolts are long, some are short. We got these bigger bolts are a 3/8 head. Line bolts go through the filter, at least as far as the 3/8 head goes. Should be another one somewhere. There it is. Thought I lost it. That one is really long, so remember, before you draw all these down, make sure you can lift that up. This is the extended filter adapter for the pan. I think I did a video on this pan. I put this pan on back when I realized this transmission was having some troubles, and I went ahead and bought it when I changed the fluid. It's a B&M pan. Comes with this extended filter pickup. Comes with this type of filter. Easy to put in, easy to figure out. bolts here, you can't really get a socket on it. Guess you got like a swivel, which I don't, at least not in a 5/16. So after I torque all the others down, I'll just kind of have to guess on that. Now let's see. I'm going to torque down the big bolts first. 3/8 socket, and I believe the torque spec is 120 inch-pounds, 95 to 125. Set the wrench, unlock. Definitely don't want to over tighten these because they would be very easy to strip. And if you strip them threads, you got to fix them or you're going to have a pressure leak. There is 130. Thank you. 135. Lock it. Warm again. And the little ones are still they're 5/16 bolts, and they're only 45 to 50 inch-pounds, not foot-pounds, inch-pounds. And these bigger ones, 120 inch-pounds, or 125, I believe I said. There's 45 and 50. Filter is pretty easy. Goes on like that. 3 screws, and nuts go from the back. I would prefer if this piece was threaded with some nuts welded on it or something, but they don't do that for you. Screwdriver. I used to never torque my pan bolts, but I do now because you can't over tighten them and squeeze that gasket too much, make it leak. I've had that problem in the past, so now always torque them. 120 inch-pounds is what they recommend. I believe I'm at 115. I'm going to leave that there. So there it is, all done, and we're waiting on the converter now. Now on that pan, I will let it sit overnight. I'm gonna go over them bolts again after the Permatex dries. If you noticed, which I showed it in fast motion on the Permatex, I used the gray. This is what I had left, and as you can see, I had gloves on to keep from getting it all over me, but it had a leak in the side, or I had one glove on so I could spread it. It had a leak in the side, so I got it on me anyway. But I will go back and tighten those. Now on my torque converter, I sent it to PTC Converters on the 18th of December, and they finally called me back just this past Monday. Today is the 13th of January, and they told me that my old converter was a complete wipeout, wasn't worth fixing, so we got to build a new one. It's going to be a 10-inch street converter. We're looking for 3,000 stall. They have all the specs to my car that they need, and they told me they'll have me a brand new one within about 2 weeks. So we got 2 weeks to wait. So during that time, we'll be able to pull the 9-inch out of the Torino, and we'll get rid of the airplane 279 gears. I'm putting 325s in it. I mentioned this before. I think that mixed with the lower first gear we're going to have will work out nice, make the car still drivable on the interstates, keeping up with traffic and all without the engine being revved too high, but should give me a lot better takeoff power. So this thing, you know, originally I wanted street and strip, but I've only taken it to the track 2 or 3 times, and that was a long time ago. So I think the 325s will make it fun to drive without sacrificing too much, you know, of too much RPM when you're on the interstates. And we also want to redo the headers. We'll do some videos on that. Told you I bought some shorties for it. I want to make them fit. Actually, one of them is under there, if you can see it. They're not going to fit. I got a cut on them. I'll tell you about that later. But for the price, it's the way to go. So, anyway, thanks for watching.